if you're lucky and if I don't run out of time, practical things that you can do to keep your weight off today without spending any extra money on anything at all. It takes 20 minutes for the stomach to tell your brain that you're full up. It is very important to realize that the first stage of breaking down our food happens in the mouth. Please try it. It's worth it. It's really, really worth it. You will lose weight if you are still on that weight loss journey automatically. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Keep It Off podcast. I'm Mel Harris and I'm your host. I'm quite excited today because what I want to do is give you a couple of things, maybe more if you're lucky and if I don't run out of time, things that you can do to keep your weight off today without spending any extra money on anything at all, just something you can take away from this podcast and you can do today. So let's start at very basics. Well, if you have a weight loss surgery, you will have been told from the very beginning that you need to eat slowly. Now, the thing about eating slowly is it doesn't really just apply to those people that have had weight loss surgery. It applies to anyone who A, wants to lose weight and B, wants to keep their weight off. No judgment here, regardless of how you're doing it. This is going to help you. Why do we need to eat slowly? The thing that most people answer to that question is it takes time for your stomach to send a signal to your brain to tell it that it's full. Actually, yes, that is true. It takes 20 minutes for the stomach to tell your brain that you're full up. For a lot of people, 20 minutes is a long time in terms of eating food. One of my very, very, very best friends has practically finished her plate of food before I've picked up my knife and fork. My goodness, she does eat fast. And a lot of people within 20 minutes get to the point where they are overfull. They feel uncomfortable. They're undoing the buttons on their trousers or their belts. So yes, it is very true. We need 20 minutes to eat a meal just so that the brain knows that we are full up. But there are other reasons as well why it is important that we need to eat slowly. And I want you to think of your mouth as a factory, a food breakdown factory. From the moment you put food into your mouth, we produce saliva. We have little ridges on our tongues that can taste the food. I'm not going to say kind of. The muscle is a tongue, and the tongue is designed to automatically recognize that there is food in the mouth and move that food around in our mouth so that it is our mouth and our teeth and the saliva that work together, create enzymes that break down the food in our mouth. It is very important to realize that the first stage of breaking down our food happens in the mouth. Unfortunately for us, the kind of automatic response to swallow is very, very strong. That impulse to swallow food is very strong. And very often that impulse kicks in well before the food has been broken down enough. So we need to keep our food in our mouth for as long as humanly possible, to break it down to the extent that by the time it is swallowed and it does reach the stomach, it then makes it easier for the stomach to do its own job and break the food down further. And that is so important. In fact, I did do a reel a while back of me eating 1 pea. I did it in real time to show you how long it was possible to keep that pea in my mouth, not just holding it there, but by chewing it and the tongue moving it around and the saliva breaking it up. I could keep it in my mouth for quite a significant amount of time before I couldn't resist the urge to swallow anymore. And I don't know if you remember years ago, and probably for a lot of you, it's well before your time, but there was a very famous pastel company who did a tube of pastels. Their whole slogan was based on how long can you keep it in your mouth before you need to chew it, because they're so tasty. So they cottoned onto that many, many years ago. So yes, it is important to eat slowly, simply because if we leave it all to the stomach, and this is where it differs for bariatric patients to people losing their weight or diet and exercise. If you've had surgery, the stomach is different. It's been altered. So very often, if we swallow food that hasn't been broken down enough, it's very painful. And it will sit in the stomach, blocking anything else going in for far longer than anyone that has not had any adjustments made physically to their stomach. So yes, it is definitely more important if you've had weight loss surgery, but it's still very important for anybody eating their food, regardless of whether you want to lose weight, regardless of whether you want to keep weight off. Generally speaking, it is unhealthy for anyone to eat their food far too quickly. And it can result in a lot of other conditions when your stomach is having to work too hard to digest our food. It has to produce a lot more acid. We can get acid reflux, and we can get a lot of other diseases that come from the stomach's desperate struggle to break up and digest our food. So please try and eat more slowly. And I'm going to tell you a technique you can use today that will help you do that. A lot of people believe on counting the number of chews and all the rest of it. Yes, I see the benefit in that, of course, but I'm not sure how long you can sustain that for, to be honest with you. It does feel really awkward if you're sitting there going 1, 2, 3. It's not really ideal, in my opinion. But there are things you can do. The first thing is to learn how to put smaller pieces of food into the mouth. Don't put too much in. I tell everybody, and I still use small cutlery. I'm talking about children's cutlery. So if it's a fork, it's got very short prongs on it, and usually only 3 of them. And the rule here is, once you've got that shorter, smaller cutlery, don't scoop. Do not scoop your food onto a fork. Prick it with the prongs. People say, how can I prick a pea with a fork? It's going to go all over the place. Well, not if you use your knife, it isn't. Use the knife to secure the peas in place and then prick them. There is a way to do it, believe me. Maybe it's prompting me to do a video for you that will show you exactly how I do it. So prick your food, don't scoop your food, put that into your mouth and put your knife and fork down. Do not hold it in your hands. Focus on breaking that food down in your mouth. And only when you've swallowed should you pick up your knife and fork again and start all over again. That will automatically slow down how you eat, because by cutting the pieces into smaller bits and only putting small amounts in your mouth, it will take you longer to eat the food that's on your plate. By putting your food down, it'll make you focus on the digestion and the breaking down. And again, that adds time to your meal. Now, I can hear lots of people screaming at me right now saying, my partner's already pissed off at me because I take so long to eat. Well, you're right. They do. My brother said to me, Mel, what is the point of coming out for dinner with you when I've got to come back tomorrow to wait for you to finish it? All right, he was joking, but you see the point. He meant it. I eat so slowly, he finds it frustrating. He eats so quickly, I find it frustrating. I can't possibly keep up with that. And the point is, tell them to mind their own business, right? Let them know that when you sit down for a meal together, it's not just about the food. It's about the company. It's about the conversation. It's about social interaction. It can be about a lot more than just shoveling the food into your mouth and dashing off somewhere. Please try it. It's worth it. It's really, really worth it. You will lose weight if you are still on that weight loss journey automatically. You will lose weight just by doing that. And even if you're on the keep it off part of your journey, I can't guarantee it, but I'm pretty sure you will still lose a pound even, but you'll lose weight just by putting your knife and fork down, eating smaller amounts and chewing slowly, helping your stomach to do the rest of its job that it needs to do. It's worth trying. I'll see you next time. I've been Mel Harris, and this has been the Madder Than Usual Keep It Off podcast.